Hello everyone, and today I am doing a video on making banana bread. So just safety precautions, make sure that your parents know that you're baking, make sure that you've got a clean area, and make sure that you are in practical clothes with your hair tied up and your hands washed. So I'll explain the recipe to you. The recipe is 140 grams of butter, 140 grams of caster sugar, 2 large eggs, 140 grams of self-raising flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 very ripe bananas, it doesn't matter if they're not ripe, and this is optional, but you can have 50 grams of icing sugar and a handful of dried banana chips. So I've already weighed all my ingredients out, so we're going to get right along to start baking. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or gas mark 4, which I've already done. Then you need to preferably have a loaf tin. You need to grab some baking parchment, not too big but enough to fit in the tin. So we're just going to put that in the tin like so, and then you need to grab some softened butter and just rub it in your hands and then rub it around the tin, just so then the banana bread does not stick. Then you can put that to one side. The first baking step is cream 140 grams of softened butter and 140 grams of caster sugar until light and fluffy. So first of all, we need to grab our caster sugar and our butter. So you need a mixing bowl or just any dish that you can put your items in. Now, all you need to do is, with a wooden spoon or a whisk, you need to just mix and mix and mix until it's very soft. If you think your butter is too hard, you can microwave it for 25 seconds. So just continue to mix until the caster sugar and the softened butter have mixed together. So once you've been mixing for about 3 to 4 minutes, your mixture should look like this. Then next, beat 2 large eggs, whisk them in the jug, pour them in the mixture. So when you've got your eggs in the jug, or whatever you want to whisk them in, you just need to whisk them. If you have difficulty cracking eggs, ask a guardian or carer to help you. Always make sure that when you put raw eggs on the side, or the shells, you wipe the side down and disinfect it, and also to wash your hands. So keep on whisking until they're all done. So when your eggs are all done, you pour them into the mixture. They should look slimy, that's when you know that you've whisked them enough. Then next, before you mix all this together, you need to add a little bit of the 140 grams of self-raising flour. Not the whole thing, maybe just a little handful or just a pinch. It's completely up to you. So I tend just to put in about a quarter of the bowl, and then when that's in, mix the mixture together again. Depending on how much of the 140 grams of flour you've put in the mixture already, it's going to be quite slimy. So once you think that you've stirred it enough, you can add the rest of the 140 grams of self-raising flour into the mix. And then you need to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then continue to mix. So now when you've mixed all of that together, your mix should look like this, a little bit like cake mixture. Now you need to mash 2 bananas and pour it into the mix. I always mash my bananas in a bowl before putting it in the mixture. It's whatever is easiest to you. If you haven't got a masher at home, you can use a fork or a spoon. So when your bananas are mashed, they should look mushy. Then you pour it into the mixture and continue to mix. When mixing, make sure that there's no lumps, because when you pour it into the tin and it comes out when it's cooked, it does come out lumpy. So just try and make sure that all the banana is mushed up and broken down, and that there's no clumps of butter in the mixture. So when all the mixture is stirred, it should look like this. So then next, you need to pour your mixture into your tin. So make sure that all the mixture is out the bowl. To smooth it in the pan, you can either use a spatula, one of these. If you don't have a spatula, you can use the back of a spoon to make it easier for you. When it's in the loaf tin, it should look like that. Now it needs to go in the oven for 30 minutes. Keep on checking on it, and then when you think it's done, you can either use a fork or a skewer, stick it in the middle of the loaf, and if it comes out clean, then the bread's done.